Hi, I'm Melissa D'Agostino, the director of Mother of All Shows, and we're going to break down a scene for you right now from the film. So let's take a look. In this scene, we were very inspired by SNL sketches. That's why we did that sort of title treatment. And this is Liza imagining in her mind that she's seeing her cousin for the first time since she went no contact with her mother. So she hasn't seen her mother in 2 years, and none of her family members have really reached out. So she hasn't seen them. And so she's going to a department store here, of course, in the context of the variety show, and she runs into her cousin. So this is her imagination going, how terrible could this conversation be?
Liza? Oh my God, what are you doing here?
Hey, Lisa, hi. I'm just picking up a gift for my boyfriend. And, we all have moments where we imagine what a conversation is going to be like if we haven't seen someone in a while or if there's going to be a confrontation. And this was a way of illustrating that. So right off the bat, there's a lot of sort of tension between them, insulting each other in these sort of ways where we dig each other. When we know someone really well, we know exactly how to go for the jugular. The conceit is that they're in a department store at Christmas. There's a lot of SNL sketches like this, and so we were very inspired. Then Liza starts to have these fantasies where she gets to tell her cousin off.
My husband gropeth me at Zio Mario's funeral. I'm coming for thee, bitch! I wish it thee were dead!
And let her have it, I guess is the way I'll say it. So we turn to a lot of movie tropes. So this was basically like First Night, or like all those sort of night movies we watched in the 80s that were about jousting and love somehow. And so she imagines telling her off, and then imagines, in fact, jousting. Yes. And the way we did this was we shot each of the individual sections on blue screen of the close-ups of me and of Tara Consoli, the amazing Tara Consoli. And then we used stock footage to tie them together. We were so fortunate to find stock footage of 2 knights jousting in just this way and somehow to be able to match them. So now she pops back into this department store scene, and they continue to go after each other. And then anytime that Lisa, her cousin Lisa, played by Tara, says something that is triggering or something where she wants to say to her, how dare you, and tell her off, she escapes again. So she's already escaped into a variety show, and now she pops into a fantasy where she gets to actually say what she means. This, of course, inspired by wrestling, 80s wrestling, and by Glow, by the television series that revived that. This was so fun to shoot. This one we shot as a 2-shot, so it's both of us on screen at the same time. And we used stock footage in the back. We shot it on blue screen and then did some compositing in post-production. We got to go after each other and insult each other and wear these absolutely rad costumes by Jennifer Lance.
I call you Lusa. It should slide right out of that stretched out drawstring burst nice and easy now, shouldn't it? What? Oh.
And this wig that Ricky Zucker made me, this mullet wig, which I wish I owned. It was a Ricky, can I have it back? And the amazing makeup that Mikey Elliott did on me that I love. And the way we did these stunts here is, because we didn't actually hit Tara Consoli in the face. Don't worry, ACTRA, don't worry, everybody. No Tara Consolis were harmed in the making of this feature. What we did was we shot Tara moving her head back and opening her mouth with a wind machine or a leaf blower on her face to create some ripples. And then separately, we shot whatever we were breaking. And then Matt Campagna put them together in the edit. This is an homage to every 80s action film you can think of.
Did my mother tell you that?
Yes.
She lied. tired of your shit, Lisa. Dead tired.
You don't have the balls.
I don't need balls, cousin. I got a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher.
Oh, shit.
Let off some steam, Lisa.
There's some Commando in here. There's some Rambo First Blood in here. There's a lot. And there's a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque accent that I'm doing, which is somewhere between Van Damme and Schwarzenegger. And this, again, all shot on blue screen, but our art department had a lot of practical elements in the foreground. The thing about blue screen is you really want to have some practical elements so that the composite looks real-ish, even though this is obviously fake. This was the heaviest thing I've ever had to pick up. I was training before this movie, and thank goodness I was training. Actually, Steve Bennett, our props master, had to help me pick it up out of the frame because it was like solid wood. But it was incredible, and I love the effect, the final effect that we were able to achieve there. And Tara Consoli flying backward onto a mat and like a champ. And then this, I love this part. I can't believe again that we found stock footage of two biplanes basically doing what we needed them to do. We had written the scene and then we were combing, stock footage to see if we could find something. And we did. We found two planes in flight together, basically doing the motions we needed. And so our art department, we told our art department, all we need is really a cockpit. We don't need much. And then we're going to composite everything. They built this entire plane. Like this shell that you see here was a wooden shell painted green that Tara and I both sat in, shot separately on blue screen. We're sitting on a little bench, which is the same thing we did for the jousting. And then we had a joystick and then the leaf blower to create all of this amazing wind here. And then Matt Campagna's editing, really just putting this together in the perfect way. And then the punch here that happens. Again, no actual punch. I mean, that one is, you can sort of tell we faked it. And again, the joy of doing something that's a parody or a send-up and in this style in the film is that we got to play and we could make it obvious we were playing, which is so joyful, right? Because the seams of it all are part of the storytelling and part of the joy, which is my favorite thing about film. This moment here, you're going to see a photo in a second of Tara and her actual family. I was on Facebook and I saw that they had taken this beautiful photo. Her family is lovely, of themselves in the park. And I was already planning to ask Paolo, her husband, who's an actor and a wonderful writer in his own right and filmmaker, to ask him to be in the film with her two daughters, because I thought that'd be perfect. We needed the family and they're actors. Her daughters also act. And so I saw the photo and I said, Tara, can we use that photo in the movie? And she was like, absolutely. So they saved their clothes from that photo shoot. We took that. Matt and I went to the park where they shot it. We found out where it was. We shot plates, which are the backgrounds you see of both where they were standing and opposite it, so that we could composite them in. And then we doctored the photo in Photoshop, or our art department did, so that it had snow on it. And then we shot these two separately. So I shot my coverage on blue screen with her reading and vice versa. And then eventually we end up in a two-shot, but it was very fun. This is basically Liza imagining that she's the photographer of this shot and saying, everyone hates getting this Christmas card, and calling her cousin out on the fact that her cousin just keeps doing these obligatory sort of family things. And Liza, is getting judged for not doing that. And Liza's equally judging them for doing it. So they're sort of on the same playing level here, right? Liza gives as good as she gets, and it's an uglier side of Liza, and it's good to see that.
That makes even less sense. Why do you care about this stuff?
Why don't you care about anything?
And then insulting each other, getting closer and closer in the frame. And then we're in this two shot for a moment. And then we did a classic sort of anime, I'm running toward her. And this was so fun, not actually hitting Tara. But on the day, they had done a smash on blue screen while I was doing a costume change, but it didn't quite work. So Matt and I built a camera, mostly Matt, out of Lego. And then upstairs in our office here, where we are, we shot me smashing the Lego camera against green screen. And that was amazing because it really shattered and it happened directly toward the camera. And then Matt composited it and it had the effect. So this was such a blast to shoot because um, we got to play with so many elements, both on the day inside the shooting of the actual set, but also all of the other days where we got to shoot on blue. It was so fun to play the silliness of it. And then I have to say, in the editing process, the post process, it was a dream to watch it come together. I love working with VFX, and I love doing the clowniest, silliest stuff. And Tara Consoli was a perfect scene partner for it. So love this scene.